friends would walk up to me and just be like, "What the f is in your mouth?"
Houston, we have ignition. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're not going to see my face today. Because... Uh-oh. I'm not going to see nothing. Oh man, come on. I thought we had this. I really did. I thought we had this. Oh, now my camera's not working. I'll be darned. I am full moon, absolutely everything doesn't work. All right, we're gonna do it this way. This isn't on. I'm not sure why this isn't on. Best I can do, folks. This really has been at least an hour and a half of misery. I started outside. I wonder what would happen if... You know, this doesn't make sense at all. Oh yeah, it's live scene, that's why. It is that camera. Okay, that makes sense. It's this one that is not working. No, it is. Okay, so I am going to close your eyes here a minute. I'm going to take this camera. All I was really trying to do was see if it's any difference. I guess I'll just... Oh, I see why I was doing it, because I can get the whole screen full. That's what I was trying to do, was get the whole screen showing. Because I have it, the whole screen set up for that. Like that, yeah. Okay, there. Alright, so I started outside. I was going to do it outside. I couldn't get a internet signal. Let me turn this music down a little bit. I couldn't get the internet signal. I couldn't stream. So then I was giving up, and I said, okay, I'll come in here and look. Seriously, Twitch and Streamlabs. Twitch and Streamlabs just were not talking to each other, and I had to do all sorts of things to get it. And I rebooted a couple times. I was about ready to reload Streamlabs, and I found a place to re-log in to Streamlabs with Twitch. The whole point that I was running into, the thing I was really running into, was the fact that I thought I could not figure out why I did not have a login password with Streamlabs. Well, the whole point is I don't have a login password with Streamlabs. I log in to Streamlabs with Twitch, and that I had to find that. I seem to remember this lasts for about 30 days. It's probably about 30 days ago that I did this again. You know, I did this last time. So, look at this lovely fleece. This is a Shetland. I have no other information. It was lightly skirted, and what I'm doing right now is a little more than lightly skirting. I am separating out the locks that I want to try and wash and keep the locks intact, and then putting what doesn't come out as intact locks into another bag that I will just, you know, wash, and I'll pick apart and wash. All right. So what is the difference here? I'm going to put the bag that I put the locks in. These I had pulled out already as locks. These I'm going to try and keep like this. Now I may wrap them in nylon net. To do that, I may just lay them in the water like this and handle them carefully. I may get hot water and soap and wash them like this individually, a la Margaret Stove. So, I mean, that's how she did it. There's many ways to do this, but first you got to get them separated from the rest of the fleece so you know which ones you want to work on. So I'm going to turn the music up just a little bit. We seem to have real soft music right now. And I probably won't have a whole lot to say as I work here. But you can see my hands real good, and as I have thoughts about what I'm working on, I'll talk about it. This has extremely nice, long staple length. And you can see there's a lot to it that is like what I call webbing, right? It is no intact lock at all. So we're gonna, and this, I will confess, has been stored for quite a while. It's going to take some special handling, but as far as getting the lanolin out and all that, and fortunately, okay, I need to do something about a trash can here. Fortunately, hubby just got the water heater to have a whole way hotter scale than it was, and so that's a good thing. That means that I'll be able to get really good hot water to wash these. So I have a big bag on one side of me here that I'm putting. This is no intact lock. I'm going to put that in that bag. Trying to get my bag open here so it stays open for me. That probably won't work once it gets too much fleece in it. Alright. I am not impressed with many locks on here. I am for the most part, going to be putting this in. And, you know, this will comb out beautifully once it's washed. So it really doesn't matter whether I have locks or not. Locks are, okay, that's really short. I'm not going to keep that, right? That goes in the trash. That's called a second cut, where they have already cut it, but they run the clippers over it again. And yeah, there's a fair amount of that there. I'm lucky that the tips are beautifully clean. Not 100%, but not muddy, right? I'm very lucky that way. It could have been a coated fleece. I doubt it, though. Not for the price I paid, although since I did buy it quite a while ago, and I will really have to do some deep research in my notes and stuff and see if I can find when I bought it. Alright. Most of this, when it's like this, it's connected, but I can just throw it. I don't have to pick it open more. I can just throw it into the water that way. It'll open up more and be really nice. Washed. Once I get going here, it does not take me long to skirt a fleece. That's weird music. I've got Chill Hop on, but it's supposed to be some of their new summer music. They don't care whether they have vocal or not, and I can't pick and say I only want non-vocal. So we have to put up with the songs with words now and then. There is some pieces of hay in here that I am pulling out. The reason I like to do this outside, you can see the dirt coming off on the table. It's no big deal. I can sweep. This is really dirty. When it's really dirty, I also don't like to do the lock spin because it's extra work to try to get the lock clean, and the cleaning process is liable to felt that lock. So, you know, all of this is pretty short. It's so nice. Of course, fleece is always nice in my hand with the lanolin, but it's real hard to tell how soft it's going to be after it's washed, because lanolin makes it feel soft. Now, these look like locks, but I don't like spinning tiny little locks like this. As you can see, it's going to spin really fine just like the other, but it takes so many of them that I prefer to have those go into what I card or comb, usually comb. I talked about Margaret Stowe. I have her book, and she talks specifically about working with merino in that book, which is so hard to get clean in lanolin. And she lock washes by taking the lock like this and a bar of soap and hot water and get the lock wet, do like this, do like this, and then put that in a rinse bowl of very hot water and do like that. And that's how she washes individual locks on a fleece that she prizes, right, or feels is worth that effort. I don't feel like taking that amount of time, so I lay a strip of nylon net, big rectangle, about the height of what locks I'm working with. So if I'm working with locks like this, the rectangle will be just above and below it, but doubled. And I lay my locks all along like that, lay one, the other, and I'm making an envelope, right? And sew that shut, and those can be washed. I'll probably try and do some of those on a stream, so that you all can see. This looks like this fleece, these locks would work really well. They can't be super dirty. They work better if they're not the super small ones either. So that's why I'm thinking that this might work pretty good with that nylon net method. I love spinning from locks. Spinning from locks is very, very satisfying. Makes a lovely thin yarn. So all of this is not any, is that it? This is also the time to test your locks. Yep, it's sound. You can hear that that certain sound when you. I have 2 fleeces I have to do this to. I had hoped to have both of them done by now. I am so far behind trying to get it on the stream, and You know, first setting up outside, then coming inside, and oh my gosh. Like I said, the full moon is messing with me today. Now, when I get a fleece like this, I don't know, like, what's the top, right? What's right behind the neck, which is usually considered the absolute best. I can't quite tell on a fleece that's been sheared off. And I can sort of tell sometimes what's dirtier, which is the back end. It'll have more vegetable matter in it and that sort of thing, but this one, like I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to tell that at all on this one. Alright, there's some good locks right there. Let me see what these are like. Maybe they're too short. Yeah. All right. Oh, sorry. I'll bump the camera. It smells sheepy in here. Very sheepy. Man, I'm really hungry. It's only noon. Okay. That one didn't want to really come on. As you can see, I'm sort of working down, you know, the locks going down the one direction of the fleece. It's not consistent, and these they have a lot of back webbing to them. I'm not getting them real clean. That's back webbing. I mean, that's what I just pulled off. It's not an intact lock. going to take me a long time to wash this. Got the yen to do this morning because we are having absolutely perfect well, that too, but perfect fleece washing weather. It is very low humidity, bright blue sky, but not, so it's, the temp's going up in the 90s, so we're going to have good warm weather but not humid, and that is unusual. We deal with a lot of humidity when we have the heat. Now these are too small. I am not going to bother pulling these. I'll probably pick this apart before I put it in the water though. That's a big chunk. Let's look at some of this overlaid here. This looks like belly wool. Or, it doesn't look like the intact fleece locks on the outside of a sheep. We got some, but it also has got a little coarseness to it too. This is really dirty. Really dirty. I'm not going to try and keep it intact because of that amount of dirt. See how much dirt is right there? I may discard that when I'm picking this apart before it goes in the water. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about dealing with it. Sorry, I keep bumping the camera. What is it? This talking while you play music bit, So many musicians do that. Now, the locks do get combed with a dog grooming comb before I spin them. In other words, they have to be opened up after they're washed. Even though they're washed, they have to be opened up too. And even though I like spinning with locks, I don't really make it a, oh, now see, this is real crimpy. Not crimpy, kempy. These are really rough right here. I do need to save some of this wool, but I don't tend to save it dirty. Wash it first. I would say that this was the front end, this was the back end, judging from the narrower locks, dirtier. Still, it's not bad. The locks are a different kind of formation. They're not as blocky. And this I can't use at all. I don't even know a name for that. But you see it all the time. All fleeces have it. Just these incredibly tiny. I don't even like to card them. They don't ever break up and card well. And you do tend to find them on, I think, on the back end of the fleece. Probably should have done this at the very beginning of the stream, but for those of you who are wondering by, do that with Twitch. I just click, click, click through all the different streams, and this caught your eye, and you're wondering, what the heck am I doing? This is a sheep's fleece. It's been shorn off a sheep. This is what it looks like when it comes from the fleece, from the sheep. I mean, this is the way it looks right after they take it off a sheep. And us spinners who don't mind all of the work will buy it this way, do what I'm doing to it, which is called skirting, and wash it in various different ways, and mostly you want a lot of hot water and soap to get the lanolin out. We'll process it, which means card or comb it with a tool, and then spin it. And yes, we can buy fiber, and all of that's done by somebody else, but I paid $35 for all of this. I will have an exorbitant amount of yarn for $35 after I put all the work into it, so that's the reason we do it. Pretty sure that was belly wool from the belly. Shorter, not intact locks. So here's some more of it. I will try and see if I can get anything out of it with combs. Getting to the back. If you've never seen anybody shearing, a sheep shearer can shear a sheep in under 5 minutes. Sheep are not small animals. but they are, of course, not the size of cows. And a sheep shearer will basically have a pattern that they follow right along the fleece so that it comes off more or less in one piece. That is the goal, because when the entire flock is being sheared, you have a lot of wool, and it all goes into it gets folded and rolled and goes into a great big, taller than a man, canvas bag. It holds like 500 pounds of wool or whatever, and that's what goes to the mills. When you shear a whole flock, you want some consistency and order of, how the fleece is packed in there, as well as you want to get as much length on the wool off the sheep as you can. You don't want to skim through halfway through the lock, so it's a skill to get down close to the skin when they're shearing. And what I was going to say is, it takes a very strong man, because a very strong person, I will go ahead and concede. There are women shearers, but they literally, I was going to show you, and I'm not on camera, they literally, lay the sheep so the head is just under their head, and start one side of the belly and kind of roll the sheep as they go zip, 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 zip around the body, and the fleece comes off that way. It's amazing. I mean, they're just like super fast. Now, you can take wool off of a sheep the old-fashioned way, which was with hand clippers, right? So it's like giving it a true haircut. But, okay, this out here is in nice locks, but it's pretty kempy. It's pretty coarse. So I am going to put it into the let's comb it bag. Boy, it's just going on and on and on there. Now this is a little softer, but the locks are pretty small. Get it loose from my other fleece here. Probably about halfway done here. Give me a piece here. This is a lot of non-lock length, though. Oh my gosh. Staple length is amazing. Alright, let's see what locks we can get off of this. Sometimes I pull two locks at the same time. Pull them together. No problem with that. I'll process that the same way. there is something in there. Keeps poking me. There it is. Stick. Little piece of stick. This is why I did not buy a fleece this year. Been to 2 fleece fairs, and it was a mantra the whole time: I will not buy a fleece. I was only tempted one time at one booth. Had lots of lovely new fleeces. Nothing lovelier than a new fleece, let me tell you. Well, you know, all fleeces are lovely to me. They're just solid potential is what they are. So full of potential. But this, to be honest with you, is not the best one-man job. There's so much work to do in this. It takes forever to do it by yourself. The odds that any of this will be available for spinning during the upcoming Tour de Fleece is 0 to none. I have a pretty large goal already of spinning fibers that I purchased, not home processed. Get some of my stash down of that. as you can see, it's coming off in layers. Sometimes it does that. I keep thinking I'm gonna push it. I am pushing it back. I keep thinking I'm gonna push it off the end, but it seems like I'm all right. Now this stuff is really, all of it's gonna get washed, I think. Again, we're back to this little Twinkie stuff. Yeah, this is the worst on the fleece. See, that's all dirt. It will wash out, but at this point in time, there's a shortcut. At this point in time, it needs to go through that first washing process and see how much of that mud's going to actually come out and how much of this short stuff is going to loosen up from it. Right, there's just a ton of short stuff in here. So this is the worst of the fleece, and it doesn't look bad, but it's hard to home process. If I sent this to a mill, they wouldn't have had much trouble once they got it clean. Mills now want the fleece clean. They don't want to do the washing. They charge you a lot if you ask them to wash it. So, you know, all of this would have to get washed, even if I was going to send it to a mill. Yeah. How much more of this do we got? Let's, some more here. The locks are better, but the fiber is really dirty. If I would wrap that in nylon net, I wouldn't ever get it clean. Now, sometimes wrapping it in the nylon net like that, I can scrub on the harder, right, without felting it, but it's kind of iffy. It's kind of iffy. Hello, good morning. Pick, pick, pick is right. I know I tried to sit out on my outside table and do this. I could not get my streaming to reach my internet, and then I tried using my phone, and my phone uses the internet, and it just plain wasn't going to work. So and I really wanted to do it on a stream, so I am doing it inside today. I am not actually picking apart as much as I am separating out locks to wash one way and the not locks to wash the other way. It gets a little ripe when it's heated, yes. You do that, you test a few locks? Yeah, and attach a couple raw locks beside the clean ones to a recipe card. Oh, okay. Yeah. I have little Ziploc snack bags. They're not full size bags, they're snack bags. That but I will say I don't usually keep a raw, unwashed one. That's trash. Usually I just only save the one that I've washed. Shortcuts. Nice lock right there. Okay. I'm about halfway through this. There's a pretty big table here, but I don't have camera on all the fleece. I'm running into the belly wool throughout this, and it's got lots of trash and everything. I will give this a wash and then pick it and wash it again, but you know, that's definitely, you can see maybe right here, there's a lot of stuff in there. Lots of work. I don't know the starting weight. Isn't that terrible? But there, it was not listed in the information, and I don't really have a way to weigh an entire fleece. It is not, let's see here. Daisy. They named the sheep Daisy, so I am going with the fact that it's a ewe. Not a ram. I think a ram named Daisy probably wouldn't be allowed in the pasture. I don't know. You can see that, yeah, right. Crimp is nice. What I like is the crimp in most of them is very open. You know, there's crimp there, but I don't like it. That's why I don't care for merino, right? I don't like that much crimp. I like a nice open. It's easier to home process. It's easier to wash, card or comb. And for the most part, the locks, I mean, there's dirt on the belly wool, but You know, I've had fleeces that the locks are just covered in mud. The entire thing is. So this was kept. I don't believe it was coated because usually they make a big deal about charging you more for a coated fleece, and I don't tend to buy them. I don't think I've ever bought a fleece from an animal that wore a coat. But at least it probably was pastured in a nice clean pasture, and that sort of thing. Now I have this interesting strip of connected locks here. They really seem they're more like I should comb them and try to pull them. They're really webbed together. Yeah, I can pull some. Like a waffle weave. Coated are so expensive. Yes, we don't typically see those in Canada. Most farmers have the time or money to do that. Most farmers don't have the time or money to do that. I think it's what you mean. Yeah. I didn't think about that either. But there's a cost for the cost of the coat too. Yes, that's very true. I imagine your breeds of sheep, even for spinning fiber animals, are different also. The Shetland is a British breed. And what I'm saying is they have a milder climate. I don't know if you would take Shetland up into Canada. Of course, maybe you have mild climate too. Yeah. But I'm thinking that the breeds that you would run into to process are different. Sorry, something's tickling my nose. I may sneeze. It is going to take me forever to wash this. It is a big fleece. Maybe now that I have it somewhat divided up, I can get a weight on it. I might try to do that. I go back and forth on that because sometimes my feeling is, well, I don't really care what the starting weight is. I want to know what I end up with, right? I mean, the cost of the fleece is so minimal that, I can include it into the yarn I make out of it, but that's like the least expensive part of it. There are some Shetlands there, but you do have blue-faced Leicester, which I love, Redu, which I have never worked with, and Arcot, which I know about. I think I've worked with once. Too many to list, yeah. Yeah, I remember the Arcot as being a Canadian breed that I have worked with. Sorry, my husband's phone is... He left it in here for me because when I was signing on, I kept having to get codes. And his phone is the one that we used to use together all the time. And that's still set up where the codes come. I hate to touch my mouse. My hands are so full of lanolin. But I need to move a little bit. I'm sitting sideways for some reason. I need to get my back against the chair. Lord, that's a... Oh, man. That's all the fleece I've done. Picked off there so far. I'll show it on the other camera after I'm done. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna be here a while. I've only done this I've been an hour, so it'll be another hour or so. Finish this up. Then I have a second one that I'm going to do. I'm going to take a break, eat some lunch, and come back and do a... You know, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a Border Leicester. I think it's a Border Leicester. I'm hoping I find paperwork in it. You have Rodney and Finn. Oh, yeah. And so, let's see here. And so many that are hardy enough. I typically pay about $5 a pound for raw fleece when you can find it at reasonable prices. I suspect that this is around $7. I paid $35 for this. I would not be surprised if it's around $7. It might be as high as 10 pounds, but which would be cheaper. I will confess this has been in storage. I probably bought it 5 years ago, maybe less, but I have the two I'm doing today, and then 2 more fleeces that I have had in storage for a long time, and I'm making that my priority this month. They don't need to be. They're in cardboard boxes, and they store very well wrapped in a sheet. They store very well that way, but it's, you know, since I wasn't going to buy any more fleece this year, I wasn't going to buy any fleece at all. I'm shopping in my stash is what I'm doing, and that's exactly what I need to be doing, right? I need to be getting it moved on so that I can do something else sometime. These are too small really to do individually. Sometimes I can get multiples together, but I really don't like washing the locks that small. So it gets combed. My hand combs after I wash it. And Tour de Fleece is coming up. Yeah. You have a couple raw fleeces you have to prepare? Oh, well, that's why I'm on stream, right? I'm enabling here. Yeah. Let's do this together. A lot of people are they're making a big deal about emptying their bobbins, you know, for the Tour de Fleece. I'm like, my bobbins are empty. I'm gonna need to do processing. Always need to do processing. I'm hoping the Border Leicester isn't as high lanolin as this is. Yeah, you're pushing. And since you finished refinishing your deck last weekend. Okay, you can use it again to get those. Oh, that is awesome. Do you wash them outside too? I don't. I use my kitchen sink. I do not have a good setup to get hot water from any place other than my kitchen sink, and it's never bothered me. I know some people are very, and that's absolutely fine, to be, don't put fleece in where I wash my dishes, but that's what bleach is for. I bleach my sink all the time. So I'm not fussy about it, but I understand it can be a topic of conversation, controversy. Alright. I really am not ending up pulling out a lot of locks. I just don't want to be dealing with those little ones. You wash inside too? Okay. But the picking and combing, etc., you do outside. Yeah, I haven't. I could comb outside. I have definitely combed on my table outside. It's been a long time since I've used my long Indigo Hound large pitch combs. I may do a sample run of this. Some of this is really pretty nice and long, and I think it has, you have to have length to get all the way through all those 5 times or something like that. This is not super long. It works best, I mean, year-long lock, Lester's and Wesleyndale, and the long lock ones are what those combs are really good for. And then I have medium-sized combs, and these are gonna comb really, really nice on those medium-sized combs. They're a lot easier for me to handle too. The Indigo Hound big ones, oh my gosh, they're so heavy. They're like what you see in the medieval pictures, of a man combing wool with one of them bolted up on the wall. I don't bolt them on the wall. I have a holder that I use, but they're that way. You live in a condo, like row houses, and they would kill me if I did this to them. I think, yes, they would. Laugh. Oh, I have never tried that either. Don't think I'm gonna. Alright, this is all going in for the combing. I need to shake this. This is really bad. Oh yeah. Whew. There's a lot in there. That's the one thing I like about being outside. I can shake it. Let's see if I can. I got a full trash can here. Yeah, you don't have the weather for long sleeve, long locked sheep. Southdowns another breed you have. Ooh, yeah. You've processed a couple of them. They're cute too. Oh, they're little, aren't they? They're the little tiny ones, yeah. Or baby dolls. No, I'm thinking of baby dolls. But Southdown are a smaller sheep, I think. I may have pulled off a lot of the nice good lock, big thick locks, and we're down to these smaller ones now. Probably I'm further down the back of the sheep, right? Not, not the neck wool. They say the back is always the best. I cannot tell. You know, if I watch a shearer shear a sheep, I can see it before when he lays it out, and you know. But once they roll it up and I unroll it, and I can't tell unless it's real dirty, and then I think it's the back end. I think this is the back end too. Around the tail, on the top, but around the tail. When it's all webbed together like this, I lay this into the hot water and then, you know, soapy, and then just kind of lay it out like this, and then I pick it apart. Depending on how high the lanolin is, it usually works pretty good. Sometimes it doesn't because of the high lanolin. Yeah, shearing is fun to watch. They just roll that sheep right around and zip that fleece off. We have a little travel destination about an hour and a half away from us. It's called Kentucky Down Under, and it's connected with one of the cave tours, because there's a lot of caves that are open for going through in this area, and they have it set up like you're going through Australia. Not the cave. They have outside and around that, for an additional attraction or whatever. They have like you're walking through Australia, right? So they have the exotic birds in cages, and they have sheep. I think I inhaled something I shouldn't have. Goodness. They have sheep. So I have watched shearing there. And because they do like daily demos of shearing. And they really pick up those sheep and roll them around in front of them and zip that fleece off. I enjoyed it more for the exotic birds. Sheep I've seen sheep, but a lot of people haven't. Never seen a sheep sheared or anything like that. These aren't very wide. They're coming out real narrow. You spend a day each May at a friend's farm shearing day. Cool. Several would help out, skirt the fleeces, pick the ones we want, and have a big pot lunch. I love that. Lunch and dinner. I bet you missed that. That is lots of fun. They must have had quite a flock. Now, I went to an alpaca shearing like that. I didn't help, per se. I was a guest at this alpaca farm, and their whole goal was they were inviting spinners because they wanted to sell the blankets, which I did buy. I think I only bought one or two. I'm pretty sure I only bought one because I had a lot. I have a lot of alpaca already still to process. So that was 2 years ago, I think. We did that. Oh, you're 6 hours from her? Yeah, you'd have to make it a weekend thing, overnight thing. Ooh, this is nasty. I mean, tons and tons of not dirt, not poop, vegetable matter. It's just loaded. Should come out pretty good though. It's pretty open. Once the landlord lets go of it, it should come out really, drop out nice. Where's my ruler? Yeah, I'm not complaining. This has been a really nice fleece. All right, we have 4.5 inch. That's pretty average. I mean, that's not as long. I thought I was hitting. That's 4. I thought I might be hitting 6 inches, but I'm not. It's not a long wool. It's perfect. I think that's why I bought it. Yep, great length to work with is right. But not long enough for my big combs. I can get more done with my big combs than I can my little combs, but it's pleasant work, and I just do some every day. I can work into the fall. I can't set up quite as well inside for combing with my medium-sized combs, and I can't set up at all with the big combs, but they have to be outside. My biggest thing is I need a really sturdy table to attach them to that's not going to move anywhere, and I don't want to use my dining room table is too good. It's I got tablecloth and everything on it, but I do believe that hubby would finally don't do that. Please don't do that. And the table I have outside is it's an old kitchen table. It sits on my porch. It does fine. That song started out sounding like one of my some of the phone rings I have. Well, this is filling this bag up completely. It's, partially picked anyway. Oh yeah. You use your sawhorses. They have rubber feet, easy to move around and fold up when you don't need them. Oh, okay. I don't know that we own any actual sawhorses. I have used, I've used them before and put a screen door on them for laying the fleece out and washing. Actually, what I did was kind of interesting. There was it wasn't really a fleece fair, it was a farmer's market that I went to, and I ran into this gentleman that I was, talking about the spinning and everything, and he said that what he wanted, he had Icelandics. He raised Icelandics, and that's unusual in Kentucky to begin with, and I said, well, what do you do with the fleece? And he says, what I really want to do is have a rug. He says, but I don't want to kill the animals, right? I don't want to pelt. He says, I've been talking to people about it and everything, and he says, nobody's really, they all look at me like I'm crazy because all they ever do is, when you have a sheepskin rug, you have a pelt. I said, well, let me look at, do you have any fleeces? He says, yeah, I got some fleeces in the car. And I said, let me look at them. So we went and looked at them, and they were, they were well cut, and they were connected a lot, like I'm already having right here. And I said, I'm going to suggest doing something. I said, but I cannot guarantee it'll work, but I think it will. And, if you're happy with it, give me a fleece as payment. I said, if you're not happy with it, I said, all I'm asking is that you pick a fleece that you don't mind I experiment with a little bit, and we'll go from there. So he did. And what I did was I set up the sawhorses and I put the screen door on the sawhorses out by the hose. And I laid the fleece out. I picked off, but I laid it out as, because it was, to begin with, it was Icelandic. It was long locked, but not, I keep facing the camera like I could, see ya. But anyway, it was long locked and it was very intact. Whoever had sheared it, I could lay it out, and I put the locks down, right, and worked on what was the underside. And I just took soap and rubber scrubbies, plastic. I used plastic needlepoint canvas cut into something that I could hold in my hand, and I soaped it, and I soaked it really good. And I just started going like this. And yeah, I kind of had to push it together and shape it a little bit, and it worked. It worked, and it felt it. And he got his, and so he gave me a fleece, and I did the same thing with it. I need to bring that down and show it on a stream sometime, because that was one of the, I did a podcast about it, but that was one of the most original, unusual things I have ever done, and that worked. That actually worked. Yeah, the plastic canvas felted it. Right. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it had to be the right kind of fleece, in the sense that, like you say, they're dual coated, and it had the really long locks, right? And I'm not sure they were even of quality to spin that would have been that nice. I don't like spinning Icelandics because of that tog. I'll separate out the thell, and then I'm not happy with it, and I'll put the thell and the tog back together, and then I'm not happy with it. And I have avoided Icelandics for that reason, quite honestly. I have worked with them, but don't really care for them. I'm going to make myself a note. I'll have it, I stream regular tomorrow. I'll have it for that stream tomorrow. And maybe I'll pick a picture on my Discord. Right, I am not pulling many locks out of here now. It is all pretty much needs to go through the combs. Some bigger locks. Let's see how they look. The tips aren't very nice. I bet you they'll comb off. It looks like they might pop off when I comb it with the dog comb. Look at that crimp. Man. They look like they went through a hair crimper. So even. Ooh, this is lots of shortcuts here. The end is nigh here. Not that much coming out of there. Full of stuff here. So this is really full of stuff. I don't know if that'll wash out or not. I mean, that's all dirt in there. Little tiny. But if it stays as a block, it'll spin nice if it washes out and stays as a block. I'll try a few of them. stitched. Oh my goodness. That is one snarl of a collection of okay. Oh, that's short. Get all that beautiful stuff, and this is all like shortcuts. clumped. I remember going through a phase where hubby would bring stuff back to me that he found in the trash can. Here, did you mean to throw this out? Well, yes. My nose itches. Can't itch my nose. That one lock the wrong way. I pulled it backwards. It worked. You have a big bag of your husky hair. Oh, to wash too. But also a big bag of wash to spin. I'm just not sure if you want to mix it with something. Yeah. I've never spun dog hair. I have mixed cat and Angora rabbit together for a commission. I have been kind of lucky not to run into people who want their dog hair spun. I'm not sure I'd want to. How long is it? I know husky is, I mean, I know what a husky is, but as far as length of their coat, I would say that it might not be long enough to spin by itself. Of course, I'm the person who can't spin short fibers like cotton. I just never have been able to learn how to do it. If you could spin cotton, then you can spin almost anything short, but I would say if it's short like that, then mixing it with some wool, it's going to make an extremely warm yarn. You guys there in the Shingora group? And you've done cat before? Oh, okay. Long enough to spin, that is. Okay, you spun a skein and entered the county fair a few years and won second prize. Yes! That's great. So yeah, you're familiar with spinning it already. That dog sheds a lot. Or you've had the dog a while. He turned 14. Aww. Yeah. Yeah, you've had him a long time. Okay, we are done. There's lots of vegetable matter in here. Whew. And lots of shortcuts. Okay. All right. So we have, I am going to take this and roll it up and take it out. And my sheet under here is it's a drop cloth, right? So, ignore that. Take advantage of that. Wow. All right. Don't go away. I'm just going to the be right back to change cameras over without making everybody seasick. I don't know if I can even get it with this other camera. That bag is so big. Yummy. Which camera is this? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, not too bad. You can see that is all what gets washed and combed. A lot of wool. This is what I have to figure out how to weigh. I guess I'll use the kitchen scale and me. And then this is all the locks, which is reasonable. Not so bad. Okay, I am going to sign off. My camera is, here we go. No, it's misbehaving. Here we go. I have it all back to normal. No problem at all. I'm going to sign off for a while. I would like to come back a little bit later. I'm going to take a lunch break, a lemonade break. You get the drift. But if I do come back, which is what I want to do, let's just say it might be around 4 o'clock or something like that. Alrighty. I am not going to watch this tonight, Crafty, but I will enjoy it when I do. Take care, everybody. Be back later.